Well, in 1988, Brown was a very unassuming place when I came. So much so, I love now in retrospect. When I was elected president, for the first time I'm coming to campus, I called, I said, where do I go? They said, you take a taxi cab, come to campus, the Arch, ask somebody where is president's office, and somebody will meet you there. So I thought it was unusual. That nobody came to meet me, nobody greeted me, but I liked it in many ways. It was informal. So that's the beginning of my love affair with Brown. I took all the liabilities of Brown as assets. Never apologized for Brown. As a matter of fact, my first parents' meeting, I had the goal in New York, they would say chutzpah, to get up and say, why our dormitories were expensive? I said, because they're World War II barracks. It's a historical reenactment we're providing for our children. So they stopped and then they left. When it was announced that I was going to be president of Brown, one or two magazines wrote that I was going to change the curriculum. That new curriculum was anathema. People were always criticizing it. It was easy. Brown students don't know what they do, so they go to semiotics and ceramics and this and so forth, criticizing everybody. So when I came, I want to put that myth to rest, because I knew something that nobody has written about it. When Vietnam came, along came explosion in curricular offerings in universities, but also high schools, good prep schools and others, also revolutionized their curriculum in K-12 education, especially high schools. But none of universities had paid attention to that, in a sense, that people were graduating with advanced placement in many courses and coming to university taking introductory course. So Brown, knowingly or unknowingly, I don't know, I think knowingly, I hope, said, you come, test, and then decide what to do. I became a convert of Brown curriculum. I came as a critic. So my first act at Brown was, show it to me. Whole year, 4 years, one class, transcript by transcript, who took what. We found out that 67% were taking math, all the hard courses. I wanted to demythologize the idea that Brown students are there just to enjoy life, not learn. And that did a lot. First, whole class, and I published it, a study, that Brown students, first 2 years, they're taking what they want to take, but the other 2 years, they have still to do their concentration and so forth. I was also very pleased that Brown had pass-fail. Everybody criticized an easy way out, because I, for one, I wish Stanford had that. I did not take any science at Stanford, because as a foreign student who did not know English well, I was afraid my grade point average will go down. Faculties are the one that makes universities university. Students come and go, presidents come and go, deans come and go, faculty. So the respect for scholarship from my childhood has been in me, and that's one of the ways I approached Brown faculty and Brown students. So my philosophy was that you have to, if you are revolutionary, that's fine. You have to educate the revolutionary. You want to be something, you have to be competent, not incompetent. Because two of the sins I consider modern culture, ignorance and incompetence. So not to be interested, not to be involved, in many ways wasteful and sinful. Every class, Brown, I remind them of Sheridan's critique, the line that says, the number of those who undergo the fatigue of judging for themselves is precious few. It's the role of the university to increase the number of those who undergo the fatigue of judging for themselves, learning. There are two things you have to cope with. One is fate. You cannot change fate. It was accident or predetermination and so forth. But you can choose your own actions, because actions have consequences. And character actually is written on your forehead. Character. And I've always thought and many literary figures there, including Martin Luther King, dignity of the individual is most important. My grandmother said that people can criticize your looks, your thoughts, your actions, that's fine. But don't let them criticize your character, because character is who you are. If you sell out, you have nothing to sell anymore. You're a bankrupt person. When you look at American University, Brown being one of them, you have small city-state, like Aristotle described, from 5,000 to 50,000. You need your Department of Defense. You need your taxation department, propaganda department, housing department, feeding department, entertainment department. You need to see how you can get a tuba player, bassoon player, athletics, and gyms, latest technology, and everything. And then academic senate, like Roman Senate, and so forth, so on and so on. So once you approach it as a city-state, you see the awesome needs of the university. 1946, Brown had 10 million endowment. Harvard had 100. We've always been 10% of Harvard. So one year I called Derek Bach. I said, we are 12%. We're catching up. But the fact that I could do that already showed, I said, we're the ballerina of the Ivy League. We have always to be on our toes, because even though we don't have shoes, sturdy shoes, we dance well, it's our game, it's not inherited game. Thank God for Ruth Simmons, she came and put a lot of money into financial aid, which we were not able to do at the time. Because we had physical plant, which was not good shape, faculty salaries were low, the library was in not good shape, and then we had all kinds of other needs. One night when there was a racial incident, I went to tour of the evening, all the dormitories. When the door is open, you can enter. This guy with music flowing, television there, had the messiest room I've ever seen in my life. And I walked in, I said, your mother sent me to inspect your room. Oh, he got so roused, so angry. I said, no, I don't know your name, I don't know your mother, so take it easy. I'm just trying to make you feel good about yourself, that you're enjoying freedom. Because of gay, lesbian issues and military, they did not want military to come to campus for recruitment, even though you could, at the edge of campus, so forth. So 600 people had signed a signature for me to ban military. But then suddenly it dawned on me that I have to be consistent, because our radical students had invited 9 Cuban poets to come for the first time. So I looked at Cuban constitution, there's anti-gay thing. Look, Soviet constitution, anti-gay. Chinese, everything. Orthodox Jews, Muslims. So I said, by your token, I have to ban all of them until they change their constitutions. Wherever I have gone, Hollywood, London, and so forth, I find brown students who recruited each other. It's also, don't take me wrongly, the entire university is a fraternity, a sorority of spiritual sort. They all take care of each other. So in many ways, I don't think there's anything like Brown. It's just remarkable when you go, people are crying because they're graduating. They're crying because they're going to leave each other. Nobody is taking Brown as a fluke. Nobody is taking Brown as a joke. Nobody is taking Brown as an accident. Brown has earned its way. It has done through effort, demonstrable facts, but also is competitive with everybody and everywhere. So in many ways, some of the happiest years of my life I spent at Brown because of Brown students. And I'm glad that during my tenure, endowment, which was 390, went to 1.1 billion 50. Glad that I was able, with the help of 50, 60,000 Brown graduates, to raise $1 billion during my tenure. I'm glad 280, 300 new faculty were joined, 14 new departments. So I had a wonderful time at Brown. I learned a lot. I loved all my students. The only thing I don't like, they all apply the same places for job or recommendation, and I have to write individual letters of recommendation rather than the generic one, unfortunately. That's one of my punishments.